Welcome to SEO in Your Bottom Line, an ingenious webinar. It's the year 2016 and the internet has taken over. It's a popular place with well over 1 billion websites. Everyday users of the World Wide Web find their way to these websites a few different ways. First, there's direct traffic, typing in the exact address of the website you'd like to go to based on a referral, prior knowledge, or a print advertisement. Then we've got paid traffic. This is website traffic generated from paid advertisements. Then we've got social media. Website traffic from links found on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, any other social media platform. And finally, there's organic traffic. This is website traffic generated from unpaid search results. It's the traffic that SEO services can actually have an effect on and where we're going to focus our time for the rest of this presentation. 93% of all online experiences begin with a search engine. We're talking about Google, Yahoo, and Bing. This statistic means that for every 100 people who open up an internet browser, the first thing 93 of them do is head to one of these sites. Once there, they type what they're looking for into a search bar. Once they click the search button, countless websites appear as results based on the search engine pairing the search request with the most relevant, popular, and helpful web pages. We call this a SERP, a search engine results page. To populate this page, search engines use bots to crawl the internet and index web pages. These bots are scanning the internet, figuring out what websites are about, how easy they are to use, and how relevant their content is to the search query. On these SERPs, you may notice a few bolded results at the top of the page. These are paid ads, part of paid traffic. Most searches produce 2 or 3 paid search results, and then one lucky web page gets the top organic spot, receiving 18% of all user clicks. You might ask how web pages wind up in this coveted spot. The answer starts with the ever-changing, all-powerful search algorithms. A search algorithm is a way of measuring the importance, relevance, and authority of websites, and they include more variables than we can count. Because they are the most used search engine, Google's search algorithm is the most talked about. It is changed and tweaked between 500 and 600 times a year. Though there is no way to know exactly what is included in these algorithms, Google does share a lot of the search engine insight with the public, letting us know what parts of a web page are the most important so that website owners and digital marketers have a chance to land their sites in the top search results. This process of optimizing websites and web pages in order to rank highly on search engines is what we call SEO, search engine optimization. One of the central elements of SEO is keywords, particular words or phrases that describe a web page. As search engines scan and index sites, they attempt to get an idea of what the page is about. Let's say you're looking for some information on changing your own car oil. You type how to change my own car oil into the search bar. Let's say a local repair shop has recently written a blog titled how to change your own car oil. Because this keyword phrase is found on their webpage and matches your search query, there's a really good chance that blog post ranks highly in your search results. As we mentioned earlier, there are countless variables involved in SEO, and optimizing for certain keywords is just one tactic. We'll address a few others today and dig a little more into keywords later in this presentation. Needless to say, SEO is crucial for getting your business found on the internet. Unless your business has a spectacular word-of-mouth reputation, it won't survive unless it's easily found through search engines. And without a proper SEO strategy, it's unlikely you'll be found. 75% of users never scroll beyond the first page of search results. Even if your business doesn't necessarily operate online, local searches lead to 50% of mobile visitors to visit the store within one day. A poor or non-existent SEO strategy does have a direct effect on your bottom line, and as time passes, this effect is only going to grow larger. If your website is the heart of your marketing strategy, a sound SEO strategy is the vein that pumps blood to it. It may only be a piece of your marketing strategy, but without it, no one will find your marketing content. If your organization has a website that lives on the internet, then SEO is for you. You may ask, if I'm not paying someone to carry out SEO services on my site, does that mean my site isn't going to be found? Not necessarily. A lot of optimization takes place during your site's build. You may have had an ethical designer who built your site very well, implementing SEO best practices and using highly searched and relevant keywords. If this is the case, your site may be performing just fine for the time being. On the other hand, your site may have been built by someone not familiar with SEO best practices. If this is the case, your site may have very poor search results. Let's take a look at some reasons your site might be producing poor search results. As we've mentioned, there are numerous variables that go into search engine ranking algorithms. We've briefly discussed keywords, but we'll take a little deeper look at a few other aspects here. First, irrelevant or unsearched keyword use. We defined keywords earlier as particular words or phrases that describe a web page. Search engines are on the hunt for keywords relevant to search queries. First and foremost, the content on your web page must feature information that people are actually searching for. Let's say your business has found a niche market in average-sized magenta sticky note pads. It is highly unlikely that anyone would ever type that exact phrase into a search bar. In order to rank well for search queries, you must optimize your site for keywords and phrases that have a higher search volume, yet remain relevant to what you actually do. You may instead choose to optimize your website for something along the lines of colorful office supplies. Notice this is relevant, but a little more broad. The keyword you plan on optimizing for now needs to be used throughout your site, in page titles, headings, and in paragraphs. If you don't have well-defined keywords to optimize throughout your site, or they aren't in the right places on your site, your search rankings are probably suffering. Next, missing title and meta tags. Let's start with a search result. The first piece of a search result is the title, the clickable part of a search result. Search engines scan web pages for title tags, which contain the title of the web page. It gives you an idea what the page is about. Beneath the title, you'll see a short description of the web page. This is called the meta description and gives the user a little more of an overview of what we found on that page. These are two crucial aspects of searches, and if they aren't defined on your page, the search engine has to guess in order to generate a search result, and search engines don't like to fill in the blanks for you. So if you don't have a defined title and meta tags, your search ranking will suffer. Next, no links. In addition to scanning your site for relevance, search engines are also scanning for credibility and ease of use. How do they determine if your site is legit and easy to use? We don't have all the answers, but we know links are very important, both internal and external. An internal link is a line of text or a photo on your site that links to another page within your site. Internal links make it easy for users to move about your site, and they establish a bit of an informational hierarchy. An external link is a link from an external site that links to your website, or a link on your website that links to an external site. External sites help establish credibility. Search engines assume that if there are other credible sites on the internet linking to your website, then yours must be credible as well, and vice versa. Top search engine pros believe external links are the most important factor in SEO. Not utilizing internal links or having too few external links can hurt your search results big time. Lastly, no use of redirects. Anytime you move, in order to keep receiving valuable mail at your new address, you have to set up mail forwarding. Similarly, when it comes to your website, if you're moving a website from one URL to another, or a page from one URL to another, you need to take the necessary steps to make sure your visitors can still find you. To do this, you use 301 redirects, a permanent redirect from one URL to another. Let's say you recently acquired a new domain and moved your old site into this new location. If you don't set up a 301 redirect from your old site to this new site, search engines will assume this is a brand new website, and you will lose any kind of search authority you previously had. In addition, it's best practice to set up a redirect between the HTTP and the www versions of your site. They may look like the same URL, but they are in fact different. Not having a 301 redirect set up from the different iterations of your site could be a reason your search results aren't where you want them. At the end of the day, it just takes time. These are just a handful of factors that play into search rankings, but a well-optimized site has each of them in check. Let's say you recently gave your site an SEO upfit using some of these techniques, but you've yet to see big-time results. That's because an increase in search ranking takes time. Many SEO experts will tell you it takes 4 to 6 months to start seeing results. SEO requires patience, and there are no quick fixes. Anyone who guarantees they can make your site show up in this position in that amount of time is lying to you. There are no guarantees when it comes to SEO, something we'll dig into next. Recognizing and avoiding scams. No one can guarantee a specific ranking on search engines. If a company says we will get you to the #1 spot on Google, or we will get you to the first page of search results, stay away. It is impossible to deliver on such a promise. Even Google says so. There is no way to crack their algorithm. If you're a website owner, there's a good chance you've seen some of these sorry attempts by SEO experts to take your money. A technique we see often is the unsolicited email containing broken English and a note about how poorly your site is doing on Google. They might even guarantee they can help you achieve a certain ranking. As we said, there's no way to guarantee a site a certain position in search rankings. There are simply too many variables. Beware of these sales ploys, as they can be tempting. Some of these companies and individuals who practice deceptive marketing may also practice unethical SEO. There are many techniques we would describe as black hat, unethical, and sometimes illegal practices. Keyword stuffing is one of the most common, the practice of throwing relevant or not so relevant keywords into every square inch of your site. Google will recognize when a word isn't being used naturally and may even punish you for it. There's also link buying or link automating. This is the practice of purchasing links to your site. This too is unethical. Search engines seek natural organic links to real businesses that you have real relationships with. Google is not a fan of link schemes. Hiding text is another way SEO experts may try to optimize a site. This involves stuffing keywords on a page, but deceptively not showing the text. It's a way of designing specifically for search engines and not for humans, a big no-no in SEO. Search engines like sites that would have been designed in the same fashion whether search engines existed or not. So you may ask, how can I improve my search rankings without making Google mad? Good question. How can I improve my search rankings? You know what an unethical SEO looks like, but what does good old-fashioned SEO look like? If you were to pay a legitimate digital marketing agency to do SEO work, what would they do? A lot of what we will cover here was addressed previously when we discussed why you might have poor search results. First, we'll talk about keyword research and placement. You know by now that keywords are a very important piece of a successful SEO strategy. Your site must have focused keywords that are being optimized so that people can find it. In order to find both relevant and highly searched keywords, some research must be done. There are countless tools, some free, out there that SEO experts like to use in order to find what keywords and phrases have a high search volume. Once chosen, keywords must be used throughout the site in titles, headings, site copy, and when possible, the URL itself. Next, user and mobile friendliness. A huge piece of an optimized site is usability. This involves easy to understand navigation, an information hierarchy, proper use of headings, readable site copy, and it must be user-friendly on all devices. An effective SEO strategy makes sure a site is easy to understand by both humans and search engines alike. Finally, the mitigation of issues and errors. As I'm sure you picked up on, there are lots of potential issues that can crush your search rankings. Things like broken links, using the same content on multiple pages, or not using title and meta tags are a sure way to keep your site from reaching its ranking potential. A good SEO strategy involves finding and fixing these issues, and this maintenance must be ongoing and thorough. We appreciate you sticking with us. Our hope is that this webinar has given you a foundational knowledge of SEO. Hopefully you have a bit of a grasp on what SEO is and some basic vocabulary, why your site shows up where it does in search rankings, the effect SEO can have on your bottom line, and some basic ways to increase your page rankings. If you're interested in learning more about SEO or how Ingenious can help your organization grow, please don't hesitate to reach out to us.